Hello, Caravan. Welcome to the Shoulder to Shoulder podcast. I'm here with my good friend Matt Malloy and Leonard Siegal. Um, Guys, it's been a very interesting fall season for Mount Carmel. In in football, we've had our first um CCCL Blue win, and it's been very interesting to see how Jack Elliott pushed back. He had like two interceptions and he had like four touchdowns. That's an amazing way to show perseverance through the football game. So that's one thing Mount Carmel I'd say is pretty good at. They were able to find St. Ignatius' weakness um throughout the first half because they were trying to slow the game down. It was a
Yeah.
very interesting, fun game to watch.
Yeah, Bishop, I 100% agree. 2 weeks ago, when the Caravan played the Roadrunners from Nazareth, everybody kind of expected it to be a shootout. It was two highly ranked teams going up against each other, two very fast-paced offenses. Jack came out, threw 6 touchdowns, and ran it in for one. Last week, though, it was a much more, ground and pound game. Not a lot of stuff going on up in the air, Leonard.
It was a little worrying. I'm sitting there in the box and I'm looking at the scoreboard and I look over at you Bishop, and I'm looking over and I'm like, please don't put another 6 points down for the Wolfpack. That's a little worrying, man. And then I look up at you talking about how they're just doing the same run play over and over and over again.
Yeah,
and boring football, but it worked really well for them.
That read option, it worked so well. They were, I don't know the exact numbers on averages, but it sure felt like 7 or 8 yards almost every play. Luckily, Jack Elliott decided that he was just going to go ahead and get 4 rushing touchdowns for us, which honestly kept us in the game.
Thank you, Jack.
Without that, the momentum would not have gone into a safety for the Caravan. Once that safety happened, the door kind of just kept opening more and more. Caravan found a way to score 24 points in the fourth quarter. So looking back over the years, these past 3 years, with the two state championship teams, there definitely seems to be one quarter in which everything clicks, everything goes together offensively. This year, it's been kind of all over the place, but last week it was the fourth quarter. They put everything together. That safety was the turning point, and it was a great game overall.
Yeah, great game for the Caravan, but in particular, I want to mention my fellow senior, Luca DeRosa.
Oh, yeah.
That guy getting out there, taking the place of number 10, Luca did a great job. He fought. every single play I saw him fighting. He's not the biggest guy, but sure as heck is probably the toughest guy out on that field.
Yeah, shout out to junior Madden Wilson as well, picking up a touchdown late in the game. These guys don't see a lot of time just because the running back position at Mount Carmel is very coveted. Daniel Taylor currently holds that spot. Due to some circumstances, he could not play last Friday. However, he will be playing tonight against the Red Wings from Benet Academy. They're traveling all the way out from Lyle. It's about an hour-and-a-half drive, so they're coming all the way out here. Bishop, what should fans at home know about tonight's game against Benet?
Yeah, I think they should be very anticipated that Mount Carmel have a good win. I heard they have Jack Elliott is much bigger than their starting quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's going to be a pretty easy steal. Of course, we can't guarantee anything, but I'm expecting it for it to be a blowout this tonight.
Okay. Pretty big call there from Bishop. I'm going to hold you to it tonight. Yeah.
Look, goose egg against Rita. I'm hoping the same for Bennett.
Yeah.
We got a few worrying games the first few weeks of the season. I'm hoping we start picking up a little bit of the slack here and don't rely on Elliott for a few more rushing touchdowns, I think.
Right. Now is the time to shake things out and get
agree.
ready for those big games against Loyola Week 9 and those games in the playoffs, obviously.
And Brother Rice next week.
Talking about Brother Rice, I was just about to bring them up with shaking it out.
Yeah.
Losing 3 games in a row after a pretty big win Week 1. Not a great look, man. The Battle of Pulaski, you lose that. You lose to Rita in a kind of a weird,
that was a weird game. That was a really weird game.
Yeah, we were getting updates for it while we were announcing, and I'm like, is it really 7-7 right now in the third quarter?
Third and fourth quarter. It was just. I remember looking on their stream, on BRTV stream actually, and looking at the scoreboard and being like, "There's no way. They can't be."
It seemed a little off, but now looking back on it though, St. Rita isn't really known for their offense this year. Their defense seems to be kind of what they're good at, and
we saw that in the game against them.
We did.
They had a pretty solid defense.
Yeah, and that goose egg like you were talking about.
Yeah.
Their offense just couldn't put it together.
Yeah.
Caravan defense was able to stop them. Shout out Jackson Barons and Xander Gorman with those interceptions. But yeah, that's looking back at week 2. Week 4, to me, last week, that seems to be the most important week so far in this football season, CCL-wise. When you look at the CCL Blue last week, Loyola, they beat Rice 28-21, handing them their 3rd loss in a row. Caravan beat St. Ignatius. The Wolfpack are new to this conference. For them to come out and lead at halftime, that's a huge statement. I know they didn't win the game, and I know the Caravan pulled away in the 4th quarter,
but still.
which I'm glad they did. Still,
yeah.
St. Ignatius is proving themselves that they are they're smart enough, they're strategic enough to be in the best conference in the CCL. So overall, just a great shakeup of a week.
Talking about CCL Blue, the other 2 teams, Brother Rice and Loyola, pretty interesting game between them.
Mm-hmm.
Bishop, any thoughts on the Brother Rice Loyola game?
Well, it's been a very interesting game. It was kind of dramatic. They had some injuries in the game. Loyola's quarterback Ryan Fitzgerald returned from injury and handed Rice in their 3rd loss in a row.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a really close game. Loyola only went by a touchdown. It was interesting.
Yeah, man, you bring up Fitzgerald. He's committed to Iowa, going to play Big Ten. Our guy, Jack Elliott, going to play in the SEC at Vanderbilt. Week 9 is going to be a pretty great matchup. I know, Bishop, you said it earlier, the differences in starting quarterbacks for tonight's game. Ryan Kubachi, number 3 for the Red Wings, 5'7", 155 pounds. Jack Elliott, number 9, starting quarterback for the Caravan, 6'1", 205. So 5 to 6 inch difference in height, and then definitely at least 50-pound difference in weight.
Well,
yeah.
I want to say though, it seems like things are working out for him because
definitely
his receivers are doing a pretty great job.
I know, Leonard, you're a wrestler, so when it comes to frames and heights and weights, right, it's a lot different.
It's a different ball game for wrestling, for sure.
Yeah.
But you're always going against someone your size for wrestling.
Yeah.
For football, you are not. You're going against some 6'6" Braden Jones.
Right.
Not some other kid 155 pounds that's 5 feet away from you. You're going against someone who's giant and running at you with the intent to hurt you.
Right, but I definitely wrestlers are the guys that understand, if it says 5'7" and 155 on paper, but the team is 4-0, something's working. So
clearly,
you can't judge him off of that. Yeah.
Not just that, but his receivers are doing a great job too. Even if he's a little small, he's able to get the ball out there. Luke Doyle is a sophomore that we should be watching from Benet. In the last game against St. Viator, he had 9 catches for 134 yards.
Yeah.
Not a ton of yardage. Cooper Lehman had 255 yards in one of his games,
which is insane.
Which is insane. Which is an insane amount of yards. But Luke Doyle, we got to watch him tonight. He's doing a pretty good job. 9 catches is pretty good.
Yeah, we'll look out for him. I wish we could say that we would have to look out for defensive back, running back, and punt returner number 1. Marty Rogowski, but he's injured and will not play tonight. He's kind of the heart and soul of this Benet team. They're writing articles about him, and he's kind of the guy you go to interview after the game. He's kind of the face of this Benet team, senior captain.
He's their Jack Elliott.
Sure,
yeah.
If you want to say it. He is a free safety, though, so a little different there position-wise. But emphasis on free and free safety, though. When you look at Bennett's defense, Marty Rogowski is just out there in no man's land, running all over the place like a maniac, deflecting passes and going to the ball every play. Leonard, he had 6 pass deflections last week.
No
There
way.
are guys out there that it'll take him a whole season to get that. It's tough. Marty's a great player, but he's injured and won't play tonight.
How do you know so much about Marty, Matt?
I'm related to him.
It comes out. The secret.
It's that Beverly connection, whatever you want to call it. I'm related to him.
The blood relation never stops.
So I talked to him before the season, and he said, man, we feel ready, because in past seasons Benet has gone 3-5, 4-5, 4-5 again. They haven't had a winning season since 2019 before COVID.
Jeez.
Things have been rough for them kind of after COVID and trying to bounce back from that. They already have 4 wins. They might as well try to go out and get a couple more, try to make a run in the playoffs. I'm going to keep talking to Marty, though. And I really hope he comes back from this injury because he does a lot for the Red Wings. And when you go and play the reigning 7A state champs, you want to be at full force. You want to give them all you got. Unfortunately, they might not be able to do that. They're going to have to throw a backup in there. We're going to see how that works out. Head coach for the Red Wings, Pat New, he's got some decisions to make regarding defense and position-wise. So, Bishop, I think that does it for football. We've covered Benet. You got one more thing?
I just wanted to point out. I know we got a little order right here, but I wanted to bring up Benet. We don't just play them on the gridiron tonight. We also play them on the ice rink.
There we go. We play them tomorrow, right? Out at Seven Bridges.
I think that's tonight.
That's tonight? Okay.
Alex Urban was telling me.
I know it was this weekend.
Starting goalie was telling me that they're playing him tonight. That's why he's not able to make it to the football game.
Yeah, man. I gotta keep up on my hockey knowledge. We're gonna talk about the team later, but you are correct, Leonard.
Just wanted to put that out there.
They're gonna be playing the Red Wings soon.
Yeah.
Bishop, that does it for football. We covered last week. We covered this week. Just so you know, we will not be streaming next week's game. It's away at Brother Rice. However, Week 7 against Joliet Catholic, we're going to talk about this next week on Shoulder to Shoulder as well. But that game will be broadcasted on the Marquee Sports Network. We were selected to be a part of their community showcase in which Marquee goes around the city, the Chicagoland area, pretty much the entire state, and just pick some schools out, schools that have media groups and organizations and clubs, schools that stream games. Instead of streaming on the NFHS network or YouTube, we get to go on national TV. So we're really proud of this, how far we've come. I don't want to linger on it too much. We're probably going to talk about it all throughout next week, but yeah.
I just want to bring up also, unfortunately, of course we won't be able to stream it on YouTube, but Marquee, it'll be on Marquee, and then we're also, for that Joliet Catholic game, just want to briefly mention we're honoring Kevin Hansen because we're playing JCA, and he was a graduate of JCA, and he also taught here at Mount Carmel.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be a really good game, Carmelite Classic. So if you're able to come, please do show up. We will be there'll be a big ceremony for the Green Jacket Award winners. So for everyone that behaved in a way that Mr. Hansen would be proud of, they got the Green Jacket Award and will be honored before that game. So.
Out of all the awards we got here at Carmel, there's something about that one.
There's something special.
Hits you in the heart. And, there's a video on Caravan Broadcast Network, the YouTube channel you're on right now. I don't remember the exact name of it. I think it's called Honoring Kevin Hansen, something along the lines of that. It's a 30-minute video, just a bunch of different random videos that people took of him while he was here at Carmel. They posted that a few months after he passed away. So I always go back to that every once in a while, especially when he sings "Come Sail Away." That seems to be kind of the biggest part of his legacy here.
We were planning on putting that in the stream, but we were a little worried about getting copyrighted because he's so good. It sounds just like the original.
Yeah, it's gonna get striked down.
Yeah, right.
I know, Bishop, you're a freshman, so you might not know so much about Mr. Hansen, but you will definitely know a lot.
You'll get to hear a lot about him the next few years.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. I think that finally does it for football now.
Sorry,
let's head
everyone.
on. Yeah, let's head. There's a lot to talk about, man. Very interesting season. Let's head on to our next sport, though.
So the soccer varsity squad is at the top of the entire league. This has been a very good season for the soccer. Coach Godinez has been making good plays. I think he's been a pretty good coach. They beat two good teams. They beat Marion and Rice. So I think they've been doing pretty good. What do you guys have to say about this?
Yeah, they've been doing a really great job. I know they beat Marmion, but I also heard that the Brother Rice game was going to be huge. I wish I'd been able to attend. We had a meeting that night for CBN, and we had some other stuff going on. Plus, it was raining, which is not a great way to turn out for a soccer game. But I heard they beat the team 2-0. I'm proud of the guys. The Anchor Award winner for that game was Julian Rodriguez, the goalie. Who shout out to him. He's in my Latin class. Quiet guy, hardworking. Knows what's right, knows what's wrong. You know what he knew was right was beating Brother Rice.
There you go.
They got that done for sure. We will also be broadcasting the next few games of theirs that are at home, which is going to be DePaul next Thursday, I believe.
Yes, next Thursday. That'll be a 6:30, depending how things shake out. They'll kick off then. And then off into October, we've got a couple games. So in our newer episodes of Shoulder to Shoulder. We'll make sure to talk about that.
When is when is the St. Lawrence game? Do you know?
The St. Lawrence game is next Tuesday at St. Lawrence.
At St. Lawrence.
At
okay.
St. Lawrence. So
if you're able to make it, please go. I've heard from
big rivalry.
A little bird with his name rhymes with Modinez. That it's going to be a really good game.
Yeah.
And that's a big rivalry. So please show up. Should be packed. So.
Yeah. I mean, I think we skipped over the biggest point though. Right now, the team is in Iowa right now.
I know. Where's our kicker when we need him?
Right. Yeah. Nico Mullen is he's out playing soccer, dual sport athlete. Little inside scoop. There might be an article coming out about him with the Caravan newspaper within the next coming weeks.
Really?
So we're gonna have a little insight as to what it means to be a dual sport athlete at a place like Mount Carmel.
Especially when that sport is football and soccer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's got to be a crazy schedule. I know he missed the Rita game because they had a game that night, and the schedule was just crazy, and trying to get out to Doyle Stadium, just the whole thing got complicated. But he will obviously be missing tonight's game against Benet as well. So Jackson Barons will probably be heading out there to
JB8
kick some
kicks
points.
in.
There you go, yeah.
There you go.
But yeah, the team is currently in Iowa right now. They're having a great time. They do this every single year as a bonding experience for Godinez to get to know the guys a little more, and to overall, it's a perfect time in the season to have something like this, to go get away from school. They're still doing their work, but to get away from that day-to-day kind of structured life they have, to get away, go to a soccer tournament, and have a little bit of fun, and play some really good teams though in Iowa at this showcase, and then come back on Monday, rest up a little bit, and they've got Lawrence and DePaul next week. So I'm really excited for the soccer team. Yeah.
Next, we have golf. So the JV season has ended pretty disappointingly, and the varsity is still in the middle of their CCL tournament. So we're going to see if the varsity golf is still going to be able to, do better than what junior varsity did. Not saying junior varsity did bad, it's just that it kind of ended off to a disappointing end.
Yeah, I mean, golf is one of those sports where, you can go out and shoot a 96 and then the next day have the best round of your life, right, and shoot in the 70s or something. I know I've talked to Michael Schwartz a lot. He was actually out for illness, so he was not able to play in this tournament. Yeah. But he always talks about how consistency might be the most important thing with golf. Consistency with your physical game, consistency with your ball striking, consistency with your mental game. If you're not consistent, things aren't going to go so well for you. You got to go out there and shoot your best every time, but kind of do it in the same way, if that makes sense. Golf is tricky. It's a very hard sport. It's an individual sport as well. There's guys counting on you specifically, right, to do your best, but only you can change that. It's only up to you whether or not you're going to be within those top 4 scores out of the 6 guys they send out there. So
it sounds kind of silly to say it like this, but golf is one of those sports golf, cross country, and wrestling are one of the few sports that are team but also individual. Like wrestling, you get placed as a team. Like you go out there, you wrestle individually on the mat. Mm-hmm. You can't change your win or loss other than what you do on the mat, but your points and points scored add up as a team, and that determines your placement and how well you do and if you advance. Same with cross country. You get points based on how well you run, and then that puts you further up in the standings. And golf, I mean, I would weigh in on golf, but the only time I played golf was the par 2 and par 3 at Millennium Park, which is mini golf, for those of you that don't know.
All right.
But yeah, I mean, those guys, I have nothing but respect for our golfers. They I mean, they're putting on a really good season. So
yeah, this is a little off topic, but what you said about wrestling, there's something kind of strange about these individual plus team sport.
Yeah.
When we broadcasted the wrestling match against Crown Point back in January, I can't remember his name.
Mr. Lamontia?
No. Crown Point's best wrestler. I can't.
Oh.
I think he wrestled at I don't even remember his class. It's so long ago. I can't remember.
Because they had a really stellar team last year. They had one guy at 215, Smith, I think.
Yes, Smith.
But he didn't wrestle. I was actually going to wrestle him last year, but
yeah,
I weighed in.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. With this like individual team thing.
Yeah.
There moments come up like these where it's like, oh, we'll forfeit this match so we can keep like stay in this range of points, and we'll that way we're not falling behind or anything. Like the whole team point thing along with the individual scored thing is very interesting because we didn't even get to see Seth Mendoza wrestle that night either. It was kind of disappointing all around.
He didn't wrestle
that
night?
He did not wrestle, no.
Wow, I thought he just wrestled a different weight class.
No, he didn't. I remember he was the last weight class of the night, and he went out there. Crown Point didn't send anybody out.
Oh, that's right.
They shook hands. Everybody went home.
Point won. You know what? I remember that because I was sitting in the corner with my headphones on, thinking about wrestling a kid that was 6'6", 215, while I am 5'8" and a quarter. 5'8". I'm 5'8". 5'8", 180 at the time. Coach looked at the score and he said, "Len, I don't want you to get hurt. Stay back here."
Yeah.
And then Seth came out. That was, and they were so
Weird
far.
Night.
They were so far ahead at that point that we just.
Yeah. That intertwines with golf though. Bishop, do you have any final thoughts? There seems to be kind of a big match coming up for them. If you want to touch on that though, kind of the whole individual type thing conversation we've got going on right now.
Yeah, so Varsity Golf has a Rice Ridge Invitational on Sunday. So I think it's going to be very good. I think we should all come out and support them as they conclude their season. But yeah, they got a lot of good guys, and I think they could win. They could win this if we just have good momentum, consistency going.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, I remember last year we had Mike O'Keefe on the pregame show for golf.
Oh, we did, yeah.
Was that last year or 2 years ago?
I believe.
I think that was last year. And then
it's getting jumbled in my.
We've done so many pregame shows he forgets.
I think 2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago. Yeah.
But yeah, they're playing at Ridge Country Club. I live right by there, so shout out to those guys. Tough course. Been lucky enough to play it. They'll find their way though. I'm really hoping that senior Michael Schwarz can actually get in some matches though before the season runs out because
he was out for a while. He was kind of sick for a bit there, and I mean we were all kind of worried for him.
Bit of a health scare. I mean, missing 3 weeks of school is never ideal. So I'm glad he's healthy though. I just hope he can get back out there on the course. All right, Bishop, that's all we've got for golf. Good luck to those guys on Sunday as they play in the Rice Ridge Invitational. What else do we got for our fall weekly update?
So coming off the David Brady Invitational Cup at Argo High School, I've run a PR along with my good teammates, Gabe Valerio, Luke Seagross, and Dom Mancilla. It was a pretty hard meet because it was out there hot in the sun. There were no hills, but it was still hot, and it felt hard running across the grass. It felt like years. It just feels like years when you're running it, and it feels like seconds when you're watching it. So it was really hard.
That's a good way to describe it.
Yeah. Cross country is no joke. I personally had to take about a week off. I ate a lot of food over the summer. I went from 180 to 210, just trying to bulk up for the season because I'll be the 215 this year for wrestling. So put on a lot of weight over the summer, and then started running 6-7 miles a day for cross country, and it takes a toll on your little baby knees.
Yeah.
So I actually took this last week off, and I got to help coach the team. We had some coaching issues. Coach Burke had to leave for some stuff, so he asked me to step in for him with our other senior leader, Christos Demas. We all got to help the guys do the prayer. Can I just say, I think cross country might not be the coolest sport, might not be the most watched sport or anything like that, but I sure as heck think that our Mount Carmel cross country team has one of the best cheers.
Nothing else like it.
We were there I think our sophomore year for our prayer at the beginning. We do the Hail Mary, Our Lady Mount Carmel, Queen of Victory, and then we shout out. We go We Are MC, and then we go 1, 2, 3 Rothgar, who is actually a god of running. So for anyone that doesn't know, Coach Burke is very intelligent, very smart guy, and he knows more about anything than anyone, in my opinion. So he'll just come up with stuff for us to say. He's my idol. He works hard every day, comes out there and teaches us what the right thing to do is, and he's helping guys like Gabe Valerio, Christos Demas, TJ Koki, and Nolan Esquivel get sub 20 times.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know what that means they ran 3 miles or a 5K in under 20 minutes.
Yeah,
so,
and I just got to say, a name that sticks out to me from there is definitely Gabe Valerio.
I agree.
For him to consistently be running sub 20 times as a sophomore, that's awesome. I think the future of the program it looks to be in his hands, as well as guys like Nolan Esquivel.
It's funny you say that, because Gabe is not like someone you immediately think of as like, wow, that kid is like a great runner or something like that. He's always helping out with photography. Him and his father are amazing photographers. His dad takes pictures for us. Mr. Valerio, if you're listening, thank you very much. You do an amazing job. But I mean, you see Gabe, and he's nice guy, a little quiet. You wouldn't expect him to be like a star athlete, but holy cow! I mean, he's, I think, if not the fastest, the second fastest runner on the team.
That's awesome.
He's running like 18:30, like 19-minute times,
wow.
Which is for our team phenomenal. He's one of the fastest guys on the team, and you know what? It doesn't even look like he's trying sometimes. He just shows up and he just runs, and I'll look at him like he looks like a gazelle. Like he's just going out there just sprinting, and I'm jealous. I look like a hippo trying to.
Well,
to each their own.
Yeah.
I like pizza more than he does, I think.
There you go. That's it. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah. We do have an off week this week. The freshman sophomore team is going to be preparing to run next Thursday after school. Unusual meet, but we've had it every year. So the freshman sophomore team runs after school on a Thursday, which is kind of random. But you know what? They get a new opportunity to compete against people of their caliber and not need to worry about running against any people in the junior senior category.
Definitely.
So this weekend we have a nice break, so we can all go tonight and watch the Benet game.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yep.
There you go. Bishop, you got anything else on cross country?
So I think we'll be able to do good next Thursday, because I think it's pretty good. We're pretty be energized. We got a break. We've been taking our practices light. Still been running across the track indoors. So I think we should be refreshed to run faster times. We've been improving pretty much at every meet. So I think we're gonna be good.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is our next and last sport. Take it away.
So in hockey, we beat Crown Point and Plainfield to start the season. So a lot of people were doubting us, but we've been doing better than we expected to.
Definitely.
We beat in overtime. We beat Ignatius, so that's always a good thing to beat Iggy.
Yeah. That was JV's opening night, season opener, 4-3 overtime win over the Wolfpack from Ignatius. That's great to see.
Especially
Ignatius,
they're very good at hockey. I mean, they're a very good program.
Yeah, I know. I'm not even really that big of like a high school hockey guy. I really only get information through Carmel, but I know
through your cousin too.
Yeah. I mean, I know a couple kids on Ignatius just because of how good their team is.
Yeah.
Like they got kids on there that are going to big D1 schools. So
they're moving to Canada.
Yeah, it's hard to not get some info on that.
Yeah.
So we've got a new head coach though. It's hard to not talk about that. Mike DiStefano, he's looking to bring back that culture the program had decades ago, I guess we'll say. Mount Carmel hockey has 20 Kennedy Cups out of the 60, maybe 61 that have been won. I can't remember the exact year. I think last year was the 60th Kennedy Cup. So Mount Carmel has won a third of all Kennedy Cups. That's crazy. That's awesome.
The only problem is that happened a while ago.
It's been a bit since we've won one. So you could ask Zach Tangelson, Connor McClelland, goaltender Alex Urban. You could ask any of those guys what kind of the big goal is. They won't even tell you, I hope we beat Ignatius, or I hope we win a state championship. They're going to tell you that they are determined to win this Kennedy Cup. Because I think if they win that cup, that just solidifies that Mount Carmel hockey is back in business.
I agree. I mean, hey, I went to their home opener against Crown Point. That was a phenomenal game. I mean,
Mhm.
it was. I think it was 5-1, 5-1, 6-1. I think it was so irritating. I think it was the second period, and I go, it's like 4-0, and I go, I look over my buddy AJ Stanislawski, and I go, hey, it'd be pretty awesome if this was a shutout. 30 seconds
Never
later,
say.
30 seconds later, they Crown Point scored, and he looked at me and he said, "Wow, you really just messed up the team."
It's
But
funny, yeah.
But it was still an amazing game to watch. I've never been a hockey guy. That was really probably the first hockey game I ever watched.
Oh,
But I mean, just gives me a new appreciation for these sports that don't get enough love a lot of the time. Last year, doing the lacrosse game. I mean, heck, lacrosse is probably one of my favorite sports to watch now. Like in terms of excitement and like enjoyment watching it. I love football. I love the football team, but I would say that lacrosse takes the cake in terms of fun to watch. There's no less stoppages. Hockey, holy cow! I mean,
fast-paced.
Watching Finn Ryan get in a fight or two was super exciting on the ice.
Yeah, and I love that. That's just normalized.
No,
like
I mean,
you see, football. It's like, oh, I'll
unsportsmanlike conduct, flagging the play. I'll throw that yellow thing out there again.
You shove me, I'll shove you back. A little like scuffle on the sideline, whatever. Yeah. With hockey though, nah, I'm gonna throw you into this piece of glass, okay? And it's just okay. So
it was really, it was actually, I was worried for one of the guys, Ryan Jacob. He's not a big kid.
Yeah.
He's strong, but he's not very huge.
Yeah.
He's not a very physically large person, but he's skating down the rink. He's right by the opposing goal, and then some Crown Point kid just shoulder checks him really hard.
Yeah.
I see Ryan go completely perpendicular parallel with the ground, and then just fall flat on his back. I personally thought he was going to get up and start hitting him, but he got up, I could see it through the glass, through his mask. Big old smile on his face. I was like, I see why you did fight night now.
Yeah.
He enjoys it.
Yeah, man. I gotta get out to one of these hockey games.
They're awesome. You really should.
I know we've got a couple of good ones coming up. I don't have anything written down here, but I have taken a look at the schedule once or twice. I will definitely make a point to make it out to Morgan Park.
And hey, you're just up the street, so
yeah,
we gotta.
It's super close, yeah. So
I think that's something we don't realize enough is no excuses for a lot of these games. We have a huge population from Mount Greenwood, Beverly area, and we play right there. So
it's honestly, it would be easier for me to go to a home game there than maybe like a home soccer game.
It'd be easier for you to go to a home game at there than if we had a rink at Carmel.
Right, that's a good way to look at it.
You're driving south on Western for about 5 minutes, as opposed to driving 30 minutes to Carmel.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, hockey's doing a great job.
Honestly, all 5 sports on here are doing great. No season is really wrapping up. We're kind of in the dog days, if you will. We're in the thick of it. We're in the middle. Football, roughly halfway through the regular season. Soccer, currently on their Iowa trip, so it's about halfway through. Golf, they're actually getting towards the end. Golf is a pretty short season. Cross country, we've got that fresh soft meet coming up, and varsity has a couple more events. And hockey, just getting started. Bishop, do you have anything else about this fall sports weekly update?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a pretty good fall season so far. I think football's strong. I think soccer is also strong. Cross country is doing well. Golf is still putting up their own fight. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a really good fall season.
Yeah, I'm excited, man.
Thanks for listening, Caravan. We'll see you next time.